Dear colleagues, shall we start, please?
Okay, can you hear me?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, so distinguished participants, organizers, and guests of our conference. So there are two official languages of our conference, Russian and English, and we are going to present the results of our research using the English language. So we are representatives of St. Petersburg Mining University. And today we will tell you about using of information and communication technologies in the educational process at the mining university, to be exact, in the process of glossary making. So currently the role of the English language at non-linguistic university has been significantly reconsidered due to the development of students' professional awareness and requests of the modern labor market. The fact that the mining industry is a crucial sector of the economy and often the main source of national income makes universities responsible for the issue of training highly qualified personnel. Traditional training methods and techniques are becoming obsolete quite fast. One of the vectors of the educational process transformation is the active integration of various educational applications that the digital industry offers us today. Students of the new generation tend to prefer information communication technologies over traditional methods, and it must be taken into account when teaching a foreign language. Knowledge has become available to them at a touchscreen or a mouse click. Okay, the next slide, slide 3. Thus, it is vital to be aware of all the possibilities arising in the technological world that we might apply in the language learning. Information communication technologies make the process of learning more productive and significantly enhance the learning motivation of students. Different applications provide learners with additional opportunities for training skills, quick development of special vocabulary, especially on the initial stage of learning the language. For students of non-linguistic specialties, an extensive vocabulary in their professional field is an indicator of the education and competence of a specialist. With the help of the enlarged vocabulary, students get rid of fear of reading text, especially on professional topics, and don't have the difficulty with finding the information they need from a foreign language source. Engineer students learning professional English are usually asked to compile a glossary. In this respect, the term glossary means a list of terms previously unfamiliar to the compiler of the glossary, containing translation or definition, as well as future commentaries necessary for better understanding of the terms. Traditionally, students used to write out necessary vocabulary into their notebooks or copybooks and learn the terms afterwards. We suggest using information communication technologies. For these purposes, Ekaterina Vadimovna will continue our report.
Yes, so a lot has already been said about using ICT in language learning. So let us scrutinize some other ICT tools from adjacent field, like computer-assisted translation. It is called CAT tools, and CAT tools are gaining popularity all over the world because of their convenience in practical use when translating text from one language into another. Mainly, these tools are used by professional translators in order to improve quality of their translation. However, we suggest using one of the CAT tools and Lingvo Tutor options, you can see them on the slide, for non-linguistic learning. One of such available tools is online platform Smartcat. After authorization, it allows users to work with its options, one of which is making glossaries. This is what we need, making glossaries for our students. It provides opportunities for creating several glossaries. An authorized user creates a glossary, gives it a name and description. You can see it on the slide. In the mode of editing, the user creates entries for each term. An entry contains such sections as the term itself, its translation, and there is space for necessary commentaries. We practiced the creation of glossaries on Smartcat platform with our students. This proved to be really successful due to the novelty of this process, and hence there is higher motivation from the students. In comparison with traditional work, when they are supposed to work with dictionary, write down words, learn terminology, this method of compiling virtual glossary caused only positive feedback from the learners, and it also gave advanced results in language mastering. Students use the commentary section in various ways. They could write their grammatical peculiarities, usage of the term, its pronunciation. This platform supports the International Phonetic Alphabet. And they wrote the explanation, definition of the term, the context, whatever they needed. Then there is another platform, second useful translation tool that we used in our research. It is called Lingvo Tutor application, produced by Abby. It is packaged together with the electronic dictionary Abby Lingvo. It allows the students to practice specific words that they want to learn. For more advanced students of technical university whose aim is to learn technical English for professional usage, it is especially relevant because they have access both to terminological support from the dictionary Abby Lingvo and to the practical training of new terms, and this is all in one application. The principle that we used is the following. Students were to work on the professional English text on their own and compile their own list of words to be drilled through this application. After that, they exported the list of words into Excel file. Then they printed it out, brought their lists to the class, and thus they had ability to compare their lists of terms, practice the words with each other. Then they could pay attention to some previously unnoticed terms, and during the lessons they practiced their vocabulary lists, and they had already practice them individually, and then during the classes they were making crosswords for each other, they were playing vocabulary games, discussing the topic with spotting some new words. Okay, Yulia Vячеславовна.
So, and we evaluated the dynamics of students' knowledge of vocabulary after applying these information communication technologies, I mean CAT and Lingvo Tutor, through questionnaires of the students and the analysis of the results of educational process with the help of different forms of control, tests, exams. The research took place from January to December of 2019 and was conducted with the use of statistical methods and questionnaire survey of the students. One of the main aspects of students' studies during the second year at the university is to work with the text devoted to their future professional field. So our respondents were the second year students of our university of the mineral raw materials processing faculty. The total number of students tested is 45 people of intermediate level of English. We developed the questionnaires that reflected the students' opinion about CAT and Lingvo Tutor and their effectiveness. The questionnaires contained the following questions, so you can see the questions on the slide. So, more than 40% replied for the first question that the most difficult part is understanding and translation of professional terms. This, in our opinion, is associated primarily with insufficient professional knowledge at this stage of training, as well as with the lack of structural glossary for professional terms. Okay, the next slide. More than 40% replied for the first question that the most difficult part is... Okay, the next slide. We found out that 37%, 17 students or respondents, showed an enthusiasm in using this application. 54%, 24 students to be exact, of the respondents, initially having shown a mediocre interest in using CAT and Lingvo Tutor, subsequently demonstrating a significant improvement in their vocabulary knowledge. And only 9%, 4 students to be exact, said that they hadn't noticed any improvement. Okay, next slide please. So we have discovered that making glossaries with the help of CAT and Lingvo Tutor tools is much more interesting for the student than working with traditional lists of vocabulary. This work should be an extracurricular activity for the students when they have computers or laptops with the access to the internet or to the special software. So, The aim of using CAT and Lingvo Tutor tools is not to develop translation skills, but to improve the skills of text processing and analyzing whatever language it is. And such ability is absolutely necessary for any modern specialist. Test results after the experiment demonstrated that the students showed a significant progress in learning and passed the task connected with vocabulary and translating better than other students of their faculties. The work is still going on. We try to improve professional English learning in this way. Okay, now thank you for your attention. And if you have questions, you may ask them also in the Russian language if you want.